Hey, it's Matt. Welcome to UNBEARABLE 73. So let's get right into it. This is episode 3 of the Yu Yu Hakesho live action. Briefly up front, this is a very abbreviated adaptation of the source material, roughly between 50 and 70 issues of the anime and the equivalent of the manga are being compressed into these 5 seasons. So bear that in mind. Okay. So far, I've liked the first. This is the 3rd episode. I've liked the 3 episodes I've seen. I interpret this as a they've done well from the point of view of if you've read the manga, you never need the manga's enough. To be honest, it's great, right? If you watch the anime, then you got 2 grades, right? So then you don't really technically would even need this unless you just like seeing live action stuff, right? So if you've never read the manga or the anime. There's a larger audience, people who like live action, sci-fi, fantasy type shows. This might get them to read that because this is very well done. It takes elements out of the source material, puts it together with good acting, nice special effects, good pacing. There's some issues here and there, storytelling. The fight scenes are very good though, and one of my complaints this episode, for example, which I'll get to when I page through it, you'll get one of the things that happen when you do this type of like shorter adaptation type of thing. So that being said, let's kind of get into it. So I don't want to read. I'm trying to make these new reviews to be like more than 10 to 12 minutes, even though they've been lingering longer because I'm doing ones I like. So we start up. Last episode. They had gotten 2 of the artifacts back, and is Urameshi. He's got to get the dagger Hiei has back, and all that. So he confronts. Hiei is looking for where his sister is. Yusuke shows up. Hiei manhandles him, which is the equivalent of how when they first happened in the manga. I'm just gonna say manga. I'm going to try to say manga all the time because it's manga or anime is just tedious, right? So, again, the actor's doing a good job playing Hiei, his sort of disdain. He's missing a little bit of the sneer that Hiei has. Hiei is a very Vegeta-like character, and there should always be a bit of a sneer to him, like he has a hitch on his shoulder type of thing, this is getting Hiei's sister to the crime lord whose name I forget, who's trying to build the tunnel to the underworld. This is Ampa for Toguro, who just basically bodies everything he fights until eventually what happened. He encountered Yusuke in the anime. Good pacing getting you through. I still don't like, and I know I'm peeving on a minor thing here. I still don't like the hairstyle that Botun and Kurama have. It's a very Japanese hairstyle with the bangs down to here, but they counter that in the anime and manga by having I did get anime or manga, right? By making the forehead bigger so it looks proper. Here it looks like a giant eyebrow when the way both of them have it. It needs to be up more to look more like a real haircut and not some sort of fad that someone's doing. Here's one of the first circumstances of the truncation. Kurabara basically has to insert himself into the plot, whereas his involvement in the plot was much more organic in the source material. Okay, so when you're truncating like this, you just have to kind of mash it together. This is them going to be trained by Genkai. I liked the actress who played Genkai. I thought she did a good job capturing Genkai's attitude. Not quite as surly as the real Genkai, but that might be them toning the adaptation down. But this is where this to me is the biggest flaw with this type of adaptation, Genkai. This is a character the fans love or love to hate, right? There's no in between, It's like oh, I'm not saying she's like Jiraiya. I mean, but like I'm not trying to go for total equivalency, but the character is a support character who the fandom loves, right? And here she's just here she's just Sensei number 3 on the mountain or whatever. Like here she's a trope. You expect the Sensei on the mountain to teach you the ancient wisdom in fighting, and you don't get the depth of the character in it. So this character is the first one I think that suffers by translation to the shorter format, right? That being said, the training montages part is great for what they have to learn, which is not physical combat. Yusuke, especially even in the source material and here, is gifted at physical combat. I don't know for sure, but Kishimoto was heavily influenced by Dragon Ball and by this. And I'm wondering if that sort of natural instinctiveness that Naruto has at hand to hand is what Urameshi has, right? Where he learns on the fly very fast and all that. So, and he's very spontaneous and surprises people with strange moves. So, but there are influences. Like I said, I wonder if that's the case. Anyone who actually knows, if you haven't interviewed someone with Kishimoto, link it down below and I'll check it out. What else? So they're not learning so much to be physical fighters. They need to learn to access their spirit energy so they can use to enhance themselves. And in Yusuke's case, fire his spirit gun effectively, and Kurobara's case, manifest his spirit sword. But the point is, like, she's teaching them to properly hone their spirit and use it properly. And that training does come across. It's just the character of Genkai itself that gets a little short shrift by the virtue of the brevity. And this is the usual sort of stuff. The training montage. This is Yusuke sees Kurobara manifest his sword, his spirit blade. That's the image I'm using in the still. Then Yusuke that inspires Yusuke to understand how Kurobara did it, to himself do it. Then he gets his firing off the spirit gun alerts Toguro to that something's going on with Genkai. So now he's going back, and Genkai gives him the spirit wave, which is a big booster for Yusuke. They leave, and Toguro shows up, and I would have liked to have seen this fight, but to be honest, I would have paid. I wonder if they did put this fight in, but then cut it out for purposes of getting under an hour. Back at the ramen shop, fake Hiei. Someone pretending to be Hiei kidnaps Kikyo. Yusuke shows up again later to fight Hiei. Kurama shows up and breaks the fight up. This is all just up to set in motion the three of them, the four of them, I should say, going to the tournament, right? And that's the end of it. So it's a well-paced episode. I don't need to belabor it. I enjoyed the train. I enjoyed most of it. Most of my problems with the episode, as I said, have to do with having watched the source material and wishing that Kurobara's insertion to the team had more time to evolve, and Genkai had more time to be Genkai, right? And also the artifacts. Obviously in something like this, they're basically going to be like they're MacGuffins to get you to a point, right? But and then they're gone, right? Whereas getting them back was a significant effort for Yusuke in the original. think that's pretty much it. It's a good episode. It's not the previous episode was better than this one. Episode 2 was the best of the series, if I remember my ratings correctly. I'm sorry, I'm thinking of Reacher. This episode, I'm gonna say episode 2 of this show was the best episode. That's correct, but this episode is better than episode 1. Right? And that's pretty much it. My name is Matt. This has been Unbearable 73 talking about Yu Yu Hakesho live action episode 3. Have a nice day. Have a happy new year. Live long and prosper. Comment down below if you have any questions or suggestions. Give me a like if you like it. Dislike if you don't. Share it out, please, if you can. Thank you.